Rate buy downs. We've heard that term before. What is a rate buy down and how does a buyer use this?
Okay, so a buyer with a good agent. You're going to be
I know where
looking
you can
for,
find one, by the way. Jim has thebuyers.com.
They're rare, and I'm not even kidding. They're rare. So the market's softened a little bit, but it's not like you can go crazy and come in lowball and ask for everything. All right, it's just there's certain houses you can do this with, and if you have a good agent, they're going to realize they're going to know which houses you can do this with. But you can come in and you can say, "Hey, seller, here's my offer, but with my offer, I would like for you to do the following things." And this is stuff that you can look at a softer market. You can look at like the houses that have been on the market for a while. For sale for a while, you can start to do these things, right? If it's a brand new house, just hit the market, even if it's overpriced, that seller believes that that's what their house is worth.
Sure.
The market hasn't proven them wrong.
Yeah, they haven't been hit by life yet.
Yeah, but a house has been on the market for 60 days, that house is worth less every single day. The longer it sits on the market, it is worth less every single day that it sits there. And these are the ones that you can go after and say, okay, I will pay, let's say I pay your price, but here's what I want. I want you to pay for a 2-1 buy down, which means my first year, my interest rate will be artificially 2% lower. The second year, it will be artificially 1% lower. And then the third year and beyond, it's just whatever that rate is. But by then, interest rates will have come down and you refi anyway.
Yeah.
I said you can ask for that. A fun one that we've been doing lately is we have been asking the seller to prepay, and this works for condos, to prepay the HOA for the first year.
Oh, that's a benefit.
Yeah, because, a condo HOA is expensive, $400, $500, $600. And there's reasons for that, and we can go into it if you want. It doesn't really work so much on single-family residence because HOA is like $80 to $120. But for a condo or a townhome, that's significant. So we've been asking them to do that. And honestly, we've been starting to do that advertising on our listings that, if we're having a tough time selling a house, it's like, hey, because it's a lot cheaper for the seller than a price reduction.
Right.
Yeah.
They can just go through and pay that. Yeah.
You want to do a $20,000 price reduction? You want to do $5,000?
Yep.
So
and
that
it seems like a benefit every single month, right? I mean, that seems like a benefit to the buyer for sure.
It's huge because that first year is tough.
Yeah.
After the first 6 months is tough. After that, it's just what it is. It's not a big deal. Regardless of the payment shock, after 6 months, it's just not a big deal. So there's those things we can pay for. We have seller pays for home warranty. Where if something goes wrong inside that house for the first year, dishwasher breaks, water heater goes, whatever, call the warranty company. They'll come out, fix it, or replace it.
Which is great.
Those are things that we've been doing with our buyers to lessen the shock quite a bit. So it's, you can do it right now. You can. The market's a little bit soft. Everybody's kind of sitting pat. Buyers are sitting pat right now because of all the turmoil that is going on, the chaos that me and you and our listeners right here are enjoying.
Yeah.
But the overall market is the buy side is slowed down. The sellers, most of the sellers these days are sellers that have to sell.
Right.
Something's happened in their world. They have to sell. They don't have a choice but to sell. It doesn't matter what their interest rate is. They're not rate locked into 2.5. It just doesn't matter. They're selling. Those are still coming to market, but there's fewer buyers, so it's to create a little bit of sponginess in the market, if you will, on certain properties. So you can ask for these things, and we've been finding these houses and targeting these houses with our buyers and say, hey, I know this house just hit the market yesterday, but this one over here is down the street, has been on for 60 days.
Yeah.
Which one do you think we can get the seller to negotiate on?
See, these are great tactics, and it makes everybody feel good, and it gets the job done.